My name is Nathalie Moll and I'm the head of the European Biotech Industry Association EuropaBio here in Brussels. The fact that Europe is dependent to feed its animals on importing feed from third countries that export agricultural products. So in Europe we import, let's say, about 80% of our animal feed. A lot of the countries who are exporting are using genetically modified organisms, and in many cases we haven't approved the same products that those countries are exporting. So mostly we've been able to import our feed up to now, but the importance of Europe as a market for exports is decreasing in favor of other parts of the world like Asia, who are importing more and more and who have a faster speed of approvals of their products than we have here in Europe. An approval of a genetically modified product for import takes approximately 3.5 years. It can take much longer. On occasion it takes a little bit less. In the countries that are exporting these products, usually approval takes between 1.5 years and 2 years. So what you have is a situation where exporting countries are ready to export things to Europe before we've had a chance to approve them for import. That's one issue. So obviously the exports from those countries go somewhere else, perhaps to Asia or wherever else the products have been approved. So we're missing out on some products because we haven't approved them fast enough. The second issue, which is very important, is that even if there were a trace element of a product approved somewhere else in a ship coming to Europe containing something different, because Europe has a zero tolerance on any trace of GMO approved somewhere else, that ship would have to go back. So the approval of the product is not only to import the entire product into the EU, but also an issue if there's a trace. And there are traces of all sorts of things in ships. You can have stones, you can have rats, you can have all sorts of things. So you will probably also find a few grains of genetically modified products that are in the same port or in the same elevator. But if that does happen, unlike rocks and rats that have a threshold, the threshold for presence of genetically modified organisms approved somewhere else, entering Europe is zero. I think historically the precautionary principle that Europe has used and continues to utilize towards biotech products had stalled developing countries in their development of their own products and their research into their own products. But more and more, and we saw with the most recent data released last month, that actually there's a higher adoption of genetically modified crops in developing countries now than in developed countries. Those are the countries that need the products. They're doing their own research, they have their own laboratories, their own universities, their own companies, and they're now going forward with the technology that they need, just like they did in the time of mobile phones, and it's great to see that happening.